If I asked everybody in this room, how do you get physically fit? You'd say, well, I know how to do that, Tom. We exercise. We exercise. If I say, how do you get mentally fit? Most of us, and I was one, would say, I don't know. The same thing, exercise. You exercise the mind by the same way you exercise the body. You know, day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. That's an exercise. Day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. I'd carry these cards around with me. I would have a Monday card, a Tuesday card, a Wednesday card, a Thursday card, have them in the car. And all that day, you know, even when I was hitchhiking, but I had in my pocket, all that day, say it would be Monday. This would be my mantra for the whole day. Every time my mind would start to go negative, and we can't stop that because there's negative thoughts swirling in the universe and they enter your mind. You don't have to hold them in your mind. You can grab them and throw them out. You have that power. You have the power to empower yourself, to empower your thinking. I would have this, all my thoughts create healthiness in me. My mind dwells only on those thoughts which create more harmony and balance and well-being within me and the world around me. That's what I would do all day Monday. All day Monday, whenever I'd start to think negative, I would chant that. Tuesday, I'd say, I control the thoughts I choose. No thought at any time can dwell in my mind without my approval or my permission. I never worry. Of course I do, but I kept telling my subconscious mind I don't. My subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between truth or fiction. Wednesday, I say, my mind is constantly in tune with the positive. It is bright, cheerful, enthusiastic, and full of good, positive thoughts and ideas. And I do this all week long. Monday through Sunday, I would have these cards, and then I would constantly read those cards every day. Today, you do it by cell phone. You know, you wouldn't have to have cards. You put those mantras on your cell phone. And that'll be your mantra for the day. The most important person you'll ever talk to is yourself. If you're incapable of finding peace within yourself, you know, it's pointless. And this is very important. It's pointless to search elsewhere. You know, the inner journey is far more exciting than the outer journey. You know, if you're looking into a bottle or into some kind of drug to find that peace in yourself, it's pointless. Can I tell you how many comedians I know that destroyed their lives? None of the comedians, lawyers, and friends of mine, because of using chemicals. You know, I don't want to belabor this subject, but if you need chemistry to get you up on a stage, you shouldn't be in show business. If it takes chemistry to get you up there, I don't care what your fears are, what your doubts are, what your worries are. The audience doesn't know that. Feel yourself as confident. I'm going to overcome those fears. It doesn't happen overnight. You slowly do it. But if you need chemistry to get you on stage, I promise you, the end isn't going to be the end you want. I've known 5 comedians who committed suicide, and they were great comedians. I've known 15 more from drugs and alcohol that destroyed their career. At the Comedy Store at one time, there were 3 comedians out of 150 that weren't using drugs. Me, David Letterman, and Jay Leno. and the comedians there thought I was a narc because I used to lecture them. That's bullshit. That's bullshit, and you know that's bullshit, you know. And they're snorting coke. And one of the stories I tell sometimes, one of the comedians said, Tom, you should snort coke. And I said, why should I snort coke? They said, because whatever you are, Tom, it expands that 100 times. Forgive me, but what if you're an asshole? So if you can't find, you have to search for the peace within yourself. The inner journey is far more exciting than the outer journey. I'm repetitive a lot, I know that, but I learned in school that I learned by repetition, you know. So, anyhow, and the other thing too is for you to think that you would be happy if only she would act the right way, or you'd be happy only if he would do this right thing. You cannot put that responsibility on anybody. It's personal responsibility. Your happiness is your own personal responsibility. It's no one else's but yours. Take personal responsibility for your happiness. Stop telling her that if she would do this, you'd be happier, or if he'd do that, you'd be happier. You have the responsibility to make yourself happy. You can't put that burden on another human being. That's too much of a burden for anybody. You know, I read a book many years ago by U.S. Anderson called 3 Magic Words. And the 3 magic words are, you are God. You're God of this universe. This is your universe. This is your body. This is the vehicle you've been given. You're God of this universe. You know, whatever you do with this universe you're the God of that universe, of your thoughts and of your physical being. Now, if I were to take a glass of water and pour dirt in it, just stir it with dirt and hand it to any one of you and say, drink this. You'd say, I'm not going to drink it. I say, drink it. And you wouldn't drink it. if you won't drink dirt, why would you think dirt? Negative thoughts are dirt. If you won't ingest filth in this part of your body, why would you ingest filth in this part of your body? Negative thoughts are dirt. Your own negative thoughts are dirt. Other people's words over you have no power over you unless you allow them to have power over you. Other people's words have no power. If I'd say to this lovely lady here, whether you like it or not, I want to tell you something, you're Chinese. And you'd say, well, no, Tom, I'm not. I'd say, yes, you are. You're Chinese. You say, no, I'm not. I say, well, I'm sorry, but I think you're Chinese. You'd walk away and say, I'm not Chinese. You wouldn't even give it a second thought. You'd reject it. If I said, you'll never amount to anything. Oh, you think you're going to be a comedian? Never. Why would you accept that? Reject that with as much as you'd reject the other. Other people's words have no power over you unless you allow them to have power over you. Your own negative thoughts have no power over you unless you allow them to have power over you. You give that choice to those negative thoughts. You have the power to empower yourself. You see, negative thoughts are going to enter our minds. They always do. As I said earlier, they swirl in the universe, but you don't have to hold them in there. You diffuse them with a positive thought. Look, your mind is like a garden. Okay? Your mind is like a garden. And if you're going to have positive thoughts, those are flowers. You're going to plant flowers in your beautiful mind, your garden. Okay? If weeds grow, what if weeds grow in a garden? Do you allow the weeds to grow? No, you dig the weeds out and you replant the flowers. That's the same thing you do with your mind. Negative thoughts are weeds. Dig them out. Positive thoughts are flowers. Plant flowers, We have the freedom to think any thoughts or a string of thoughts. Therefore, it follows that we determine how we feel. Let me repeat that. We have the freedom to think any thoughts or string of thoughts. Therefore, it follows that we determine how we feel. What a gigantic concept. If you don't remember anything else I said, remember what I'm about to say to you now. Wisdom is avoiding all the thoughts that weaken you. True wisdom is avoiding all the thoughts that weaken you. You know the thoughts that weaken you. Wisdom is avoiding those thoughts, casting them out. Yeah, my dad beat me when I was a kid. My mother was alcoholic, and my brother never did, and my sister, and if I'd only... Those are the thoughts that weaken you, and you know it. If that marriage would have only worked out, if that agent would have only... If I could have only got... Those are the thoughts that weaken you. Wisdom, true wisdom, is avoiding all the thoughts that weaken you. I think I have this here. It's the greatest discovery. The greatest discovery of my generation is that a man can change his life simply by changing his thoughts. As human beings, our greatness lies not so much in being able to remake the world as it is, in being able to remake ourselves. You can't change the world, you can only change yourself. Think about that. If you change yourself, you change the world, because you change the world around you. The secret of life is to watch our thoughts, because once you realize what is really going on, you can make new ones, which will create your reality anew. We are all infinitely more powerful than we have allowed ourselves to be. We are all infinitely more powerful than we've allowed ourselves to be. W. Clement Stone, some of you may have known, he wrote many books, amassed a fortune. He gave away over $100 million in his lifetime. He lived to be 100 years old. Every night before he went to sleep, he said, I feel happy, I feel healthy, I feel terrific. I feel happy, I feel healthy, I feel terrific. He said that 5 times before he went to sleep and 5 times when he woke up in the morning. His subconscious mind said he feels happy, he feels healthy, he feels terrific. He saw himself happy, healthy, and terrific. He lived to be 100 years old. The most important person you'll talk to is yourself. If you want to change the world, you change yourself. When I was a little boy in church, I know some of you may know the song, they used to always sing that song, let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. There's a story, an elder was teaching his grandchildren about life, and he said to them, a fight is going on inside all human beings. He was talking to his grandchildren. He said, it's a terrific fight, and it's between 2 wolves. One wolf is evil. He is fear, he's anger, he's envy, he's greed, he's arrogance, he's self-pity, he's guilt, he's resentment, he's inferiority, he's lies and false pride, competition, superiority, and ego. The other is good. The other wolf is good. He's joy, peace, love, sharing, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, friendship, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. This same fight is going on inside you, he told his grandchildren. He said, inside of every other person too. They thought about it for a minute and they said, one child asked his grandfather, "Grandfather, which wolf will win?" And the old man simply replied, "The one you feed. The one you feed will win." And you have that choice. You have that choice. So, self-talk. The most important person you'll ever talk to is yourself. There's a book that I sent away for many years ago, and I recommend it to you. You can probably find it on Amazon. Shad Helmstetter wrote this book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself.